Children have many misconceptions about the human body. For example, many children believe that joints bend, the heart beats only a few times per minute, if a bone is broken, it will never grow back, the heart cleans the blood, humans can still live without some bones, if our head cracks open, we won't be as smart, bones don't grow, and exercise doesn't help our bodies, it just makes us feel good. This iMovie will help me explain some of the misconceptions that children have and will teach you all about the human body. The human skeleton was created to withstand the hard knocks of life. The skeletal system provides a framework for the human body, protects vital organs, and with muscles, tendons, and ligaments attached, allows human beings to move. The skull protects the brain, the ribcage protects the heart, and our backbone protects our spinal cord. Throughout history, we have learned about our predecessors, including the prehistoric man, by studying the only physical remains, their bones. The skeletal system produces blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, and blood platelets. Bones also store inorganic salts. Bone calcium assists in the blood clot formation, the conduction of nerve impulses, and the contraction of muscle cells. Bone cells, called osteoclasts, break down bone tissue and cause calcium salts to be released in the blood, building up the calcium supply. If the blood calcium level is too high, osteoblasts are stimulated to form bone tissue, reducing the blood level. The human skull has 22 bones. Our backbone, or vertebral column, has 26 bones, and we even have 6 tiny bones that conduct sound waves in both of our ears. Healthy bones require exercise, hormones, and vitamins D, A, and C. Vitamin D is needed for the absorption of calcium in the small intestine. Vitamin A is needed for the restoration of bone or bone shaping that occurs during normal growth. And vitamin C is important for the synthesis of collagen, which gives bones their strength and resilience. Exercise causes the bone tissue to thicken and strengthen. Male and female hormones, androgens and estrogens, promote the formation of bone tissue. The human body contains more than 650 individual muscles. The main job of the muscular system is to provide movement for the body. The muscular system consists of 3 different types of muscle tissues: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Each of these different tissues has the ability to contract, which then allows body movement and function. The skeletal muscle makes up about 40% of an adult's body weight. It has stripe-like markings called striations. The skeletal muscles are composed of long muscle fibers. Each of these muscle fibers is a cell which contains several nuclei. The nervous system controls the contraction of these muscles. Many of the skeletal muscle contractions are automatic. However, we can still control the action of the skeletal muscle. It is because of this reason that skeletal muscle is also called voluntary muscle. Cardiac muscle is the muscle of the heart itself. The cardiac muscle is a tissue that makes up the wall of the heart called the myocardium. Also, like skeletal muscles, the cardiac muscle is striated and contracts through the sliding filament method. However, it is different from other types of muscles because it forms branching fibers. Unlike the skeletal muscles, the cardiac muscle is attached together instead of being attached to a bone. Much of our internal organs is made up of smooth muscle. They are found in the urinary bladder, gallbladder, arteries, and veins. Our digestive tract is also made up of smooth muscle. The smooth muscles are controlled by the nervous system and hormones. We cannot consciously control the smooth muscle, and that is why it is often referred to as involuntary muscle. The human heart is a hollow, cone-shaped muscular pump that is located behind the sternum or breastbone, where it rests on the diaphragm. The average adult heart is approximately 14 centimeters long and 9 centimeters wide. The heart is bordered by the lungs and sits in front of the backbone. Its base lies beneath the second rib. Blood first enters the right atrium through two large veins called the superior and inferior vena cava. The blood entering the right atrium is low in oxygen since it is returning to the heart after nourishing various parts of the body with oxygen. The blood then moves from the right atrium to the right ventricle through a vein called the tricuspid valve. This valve prevents blood from flowing from the right ventricle to the right atrium, ensuring a one-way blood flow. When the blood is in the right ventricle, the heart muscle pumps it to the lungs. Blood goes through the pulmonary arteries to the lungs, getting rid of carbon dioxide and acquiring new oxygen before returning to the heart. The blood returns to the heart through the pulmonary veins, leading to the left atrium. When the left atrial wall contracts, the blood is pushed through the bicuspid valve into the left ventricle. The left ventricle contracts and forces the oxygen-rich blood through the body. The blood goes through the aorta, a large artery that branches off and distributes the blood to all parts of the body. The heart chambers work in sync with one another. As the atrial walls contract, the ventricular walls relax. These events cause the sound of the heartbeat and are called the cardiac cycle. At the end of each cycle, the atria and ventricles relax for a moment before a new cycle begins. The heart makes the familiar dub-dub sound because of the contractions and relaxation of the heart chambers and the opening and closing of valves.